Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is it, man. DEI is done, like done on the federal level. And it's so weird to go back even a couple months and see all these articles on websites like The Gamer. It's like, I'm personally going to force game companies to put all that stuff that you hate because of the DEI and yeah, it's over. Trump is directing all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion staff to be put on leave. They're ending it. They signed a mandate that it's over. The DEI stuff on the federal level is over. And what is going to happen is that all these companies are going to fall in line. I mean, they already were before, leading up to.
Well, now they have it out.
Now they have it out. Now they can say, well, on the federal level, there is no DEI, so we're not going to push it. And if they were getting grant money or whatever, they had to comply with these mandates. Yeah, and it was you let the foxes into the hen house is what happened. They took the money because it was free money, but it came with strings attached. And that was like, well, you got to do your DEI due diligence. And
those foxes said they identified as hens. Okay.
Yeah, I had to believe them. I mean, I had to believe them. That's what they told me.
I questioned. I was a bigot.
Yeah, if I questioned it, I was a bigot. Well, they got into the hen house. They destroyed your companies. A lot of these people. Again, I'm not saying everybody. I won't be very clear. I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying that a lot of activists use the DEI thing to slip into these companies and then subvert and destroy the companies and rot them from within. And now we've got this massive fallout of all these companies, especially in video games. AAA gaming has imploded. It's collapsed. Okay, well, it's like the turkey from Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah,
where they cut into it and it just goes.
But the sad part is, and I think this is what I'm concerned about, is the fact that people are going to go too far the other way and take it as we don't have any diversity inclusion, and I think that it can go the other way too far too fast because I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. The diversity inclusion, DEI stuff, it has done more harm. Cause more, negative feelings, animosity. Even people that are even qualified get questioned or question themselves. Yeah. And I think that sadly, to avoid that, they might go clear the other way. And then I think that's an awful repercussion of what happened. And I don't want to see that. I unfortunately think that's what's going to happen because people keep associating diversity inclusion organically with talented people with DEI, and they're not the same thing.
No, and J.K. Rowling actually said something, it was yesterday, and people were dogpiling her for that, but she basically said, hey, women's rights might have been set back several years now, and LGBTQ rights might have been set back several years now because you guys took it too far. Exactly. Way. The far left took it too far, and now the right is swinging back.
I think there's a lot of issues that minorities are going to face, that marginalized groups are going to face now, and some of it, they might have been part of and deserve it, but there's a lot of people who are innocent that got spoken for, and it comes down to a lot of times it's like these white Karens too. And because of it, now there's so many people that are going to be, pushed out or pushed back or, because of it. And it's not cool.
No, it's not cool. I mean, that's the thing. Like what we have seen the last couple of years is people being hyper focused on race and gender in games and movies and any kind of media. And we really didn't think much about it before.
No, you're just like, okay. Who can, yeah. Okay. And, and now it's like, you catch yourself being like, oh, I noticed it now. And you notice it all the time now because, well, that's, shoehorned in. I wouldn't even thought anything of it like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, little things are like, oh, look, there's a mixed race couple. And it's like, well, nobody thought anything about it on the Jeffersons, freaking 40 years ago.
Right.
But now it's a big deal because now you're going to look at it and be like, that's part of the DEI mandate because all these companies were pushing the DEI mandates. They're very loud about it too. It wasn't even like we're keeping it on the down low. It was like, yes, you must have XYZ thing. Hell, you had what's her face from Disney who was like,
oh, yeah.
We wouldn't greenlight shows because they weren't diverse enough.
Dana Walden.
Yeah. White Karen. she's a white Karen, and she was like, "Oh yeah, well the show was too white. It was a good show. It would have gotten really good ratings and probably would have made the network a lot of money, but we didn't greenlight it because it's just too white. It was just too white."
They were having those niches like for commercials and everything else. And all of a sudden, like the commercials, like you catch yourself noticing that how that all shifted and stuff, which I'm fine with. But it's just like, why didn't you do it before it was a force?
Well, yeah, because you had this whole wave, like this whole era. It's kind of like I said with it, to the kids, I said, you're going to notice all the pandemic era commercials where everybody's wearing a mask and, distancing and stuff. And it's going to be really weird in like 10 or 20 years. You're going to look back and be like, God, all these commercials are so weird. And you're going to have this era too, where for 4 or 5 years, at least during the Biden administration, like you'd be hard pressed to find a straight white couple in a TV commercial because they had to be mixed race or mixed marriage or whatever. And it was just it was so often that it was like super, super obvious that they were doing it just for DEI.
And that's what makes me mad, because why were you not doing this before? Why did it take DEI mandates, for you to do this? And now it's just made everybody mad.
Nobody would have thought anything of it. Like, we watch a lot of the old video game commercials and stuff, the kids and I, on loop, actually, for reasons. But they have some of the old Atari commercials. Actually, one of the Atari commercials, it was a black mom and daughter playing Atari in like 1981, and nobody really thought anything of it. But now it's just
like, you're trying to tell people.
Yeah, it's just like now it's like, oh my God, DEI. So anyway, yeah, the backlash is severe. It's been starting for a while. It's definitely working its way around the video game industry. And I think with AAA gaming, I think a lot of these layoffs are to walk back these mandates. I think that there was some free money floating around. It's the same reason that they called in people like, Sweet Baby Inc. to do their consultations and stuff. And that was their entire livelihood, was we're going to consult because we're DEI consultants and they had mandates for DEI. So we're going to consult. And that's how we're going to make our money, and it's over. And I think it's going to end really damn quick. Rock, paper, shotgun was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, just like a week ago. They said video game publishers are now starting to use anti-DEI as a marketing meme because I think they're trying to get gamers on board. Like, hey, don't worry, we all have the woke stuff in our game. But they point out, they're like, well, following the Republican victory in the 2024 election, several U.S. companies have experimented with pivoting away from diversity, equity, and inclusion.
But they already were.
But now it's very obvious, right? It's very obvious.
Well, how many books got rewritten that, they've changed and everything else that are going to stay that way because of all this stuff?
I don't think we're going to see anti-racist baby at Walmart anytime soon. Netflix was actually, for all everybody joking about Netflix race swapping people all the time, whatever, they were actually one of the first companies to drop a lot of this stuff. And they're like, yeah, we like ratings and we like money and we like customers. So let's just, not piss people off. And one of the first shows to get axed was Anti-Racist Baby.
Ironically, they just had a huge stock surge because they had a huge number of subscribers and everything else. They're going to raise their prices too, but because they kept their subscribers.
So this guy here, Edwin Evans Thurwell, news editor from Rock Paper Shotgun, said, following the election, I've noticed a couple of video game companies or executives expressing misgivings about DEI, misgivings that, among other things, illustrate that DEI has come to mean a lot more than just annual training about microaggressions. They said last week, CI Games, publisher of Sniper, Ghost Warrior, and Lords of the Fallen, declared to investors and social media followers that they would be avoiding DEI, both in terms of their hiring practices and more ambiguously in terms of the social or political content of the games. Yeah, they basically said, and I did a video on that, gamers don't like it. It doesn't sell. No. It's not good for business. So they go into like, well, we need DEI because blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's they're talking about the Stellar Blade people. Wait. Hold on. There's a lively community of right-wing journalists, streamers, and assorted grifters.
Oh yeah, because you're always a grifter if they don't agree with you. That it couldn't be that you might you're talking about or you might like it. No, you're grifting.
Assorted grifters who bond over and profit from the exercise of combing video games for signs of DEI infestation.
Well, somebody's got to profit from these games because it's not the companies making them.
Here's the thing. And this is what we've been telling people. Same with the anti, Disney videos and the anti Hollywood videos and whatever. YouTubers don't have the kind of power or sway that you think they have, right? And especially the people on Twitter, they don't have nearly the power and sway that you think they have. So if people aren't buying your product, it's because the general public is rejecting your product. They're taking a look at it objectively. They're not even aware for the most part that these channels like ours or whatever exist, or that Twitter accounts like Grums or whatever exist. They don't pay any attention to that. They're just looking at the game and they're like, yeah, this is weird. This doesn't look very good.
No.
That's that. Why can't they just admit that? It's like you put the DEI stuff into the game very ham-fistedly. General consumers take a look at it and they're like, yeah, I don't want it. Concord. Yeah, I don't want it. It was massive failure. I don't want it. I'm looking at this. I don't want it. And most of those people, I guarantee you, have never seen a video on it. They didn't know anything about it. Actually, a lot of people weren't talking about that game because it kind of came and went like a fart in the wind, but like nobody wanted it. So don't blame the assorted grifters for that shit.
I just get tired that every grifter doesn't agree with them. And it's like that would imply that people are just making videos for money. But like a lot of people know something about a thing that they're talking about.
God, it just goes on and on. Basically, they're ass mad. They're absolutely furious that DI is ending. And it's ending out of necessity, financial necessity. Even marginalized groups are tired of the shit. And they're tired of the shit being shoved into every game, every movie, every comic book. Wow. Okay. So, wait, what is this? Wait. Now Trump is back in power. When it comes to challenging the reactionary memification of DEI, there's surely no better tactic than ensuring you walk the talk. And they're basically like, a lot of these companies were not doing it anyway. But yeah, it's over. I mean, again, with it on the federal level, them saying DEI is done, and they shut those websites off. They had all these DEI websites. They just went dark, like almost immediately. All these companies are going to be like, oh, that's it. We're done. We're done. We're out. We're not doing it. It's not cool anymore. Disco's dead. DEI is dead. And I don't think it's going to go the way these websites, like we talked about earlier, the way they think it's going to go. All these gamers are going to be outraged. You're going to have a handful of people on Blue Sky that are angry that there's not more representation in the whatever sequel to whatever multi-million-dollar franchise. And that's going to be it. And gamers are going to be like, yep, whatever. We don't care.
Probably.
Stepping on over you.
I just don't understand why they can talk about whatever, not nothing about it other than to put Trumpity Trump in it. And that's not grifting. But somebody who likes games talks about games, but not the way they wanted to hear about it. And that's grifter.
Yeah. It's projection, right? I mean, because that this has been the way that these websites have worked for over 10 years now. I mean, even before Trump got elected, 2014, 2015, they really ramped up the rhetoric. And it was like, the right wingers are trying to take over gaming. And oh my God, guys, we're the victims. And we weren't doing anything wrong. We're just minding our own business. And then all those right wing grifters, they just decided that they hated us for being a woman or being a black person or being gay. Even though a lot of them were women and black people and gay people, and sometimes all three. They're just like, you're a tourist, get the hell out of our hobby, get out of our industry, and that's it. It's just, we're going back to merit. That's it. It's really that simple. We're just going back to merit. What's wrong?
I'm worried it might go the other way too much.
I think there's going to be overcorrection for a while. I'm going to be honest. I think there's going to be massive overcorrection probably for the first couple of years because they're going to be in such a hurry to throw anything that even looks like DEI overboard that they might throw the baby out with the bathwater. But again, you want to know why this happened? Look in the mirror. If you were some activist that was out there constantly screaming about DEI and representation, and that was your whole personality, and you wanted everybody in the world to kowtow to your sensibilities, this is the pushback. And J.K. Rowling even was like, yeah, way to go. You just set LGBTQ rights and women's rights back because you guys were effing crazy. Mm-hmm. You're crazy for a while. And this is the reaction to it. So yeah, is it going to go too far the other way for some people? Yeah, it is. Next time, just be normal. That's all you got to do. You can have your opinions, just be normal. Don't threaten people. Don't constantly attack gamers in your articles. Don't make a big deal about all your progressive themes in your game and then call people Nazis and bigots and homophobes if they reject it just because the game looks like dog shit, not because they're actual bigots or whatever. I mean, it's all you got to do is be normal. That's it. That's all you had to do. But here we are. We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.